Oh, hi there. Welcome to Panda's Kitchen. We're gonna put two things I really like together and it's gonna be really delicious. Peanut noodle! Had peanut noodles really digs it, unless you just don't like peanut butter. It's going to be delicious. There's going to be very little prep. Most of the prep is actually going to be with the tofu here, but you can easily leave the tofu out if you want to make this even faster. Let's just get right to it. First things first is actually not pasta water. We're actually gonna get the tofu ready. We're going to rinse the tofu and then we're going to press it. I'm using a tofu press today. Definitely don't need one of these. This is just tofu, but I like it. You can always just press the tofu with towels and books on top or something heavy. We're just drawing out the moisture because this is going to help the tofu become more crispy when we cook with it. I'm going to put it in my tofu press for about 20 minutes. Obviously, the longer you go, the more moisture you're going to draw out. Just gonna let that chill while we prep the other things. Now we're gonna be making the peanut sauce. Right here I have 1/3 cup of peanut butter. Doesn't really matter what kind you have. I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, 2 teaspoons of sesame oil, and then this part's optional, but I like to add a little kick. This is 1 teaspoon of gochugaru. And then I'm gonna use a whisk because I'm really gonna try to dissolve the peanut butter in here. That's actually a little too thick for me. Just gonna thin out the sauce just a bit. Okay, just give it a taste.
So good.
It's got peanut butter in it. How could it be bad? Peanut sauce is actually something I'm pretty familiar with. It's like a really common dipping sauce in shabu shabu, which is basically hot pot. You would like dip vegetables, meat into this. So this tastes very similar to that, and now we're gonna use that as a stir fry sauce. I'm freaking jazzed here. We got the sauce made, we got our tofu pressing away. Now we're going to get a pot of water boiling for our pasta. I'm using 8 ounces of spaghetti, but you could definitely use angel hair pasta as well. Once the water is boiling, salt the pasta water pretty heavily. It doesn't matter when you salt the pasta water. I'm just doing it after boiling because I feel like it. Now here's the secret to making this more Asian. 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. This is going to add a little bit of alkalinity to the noodles. It's going to make them really bouncy and it's going to add just a hint of different taste and texture. This is only if you're using pasta. Otherwise, if you're using Asian style noodles, just cook them normally. I'm going to be cooking this per the package directions, and once they're done cooking, drain, rinse them really well under cold water, and this is going to stop the cooking process and it's going to remove all the starch from the noodles. Because we're making a stir fry today, we do not want this to be overly creamy and goopy. Rice noodles would work very well here. Lo mein noodles or any noodles that are meant for stir frying would work really well here. This is the only vegetable prep that we're doing. 4 cloves of garlic. Okay, if you want to make this even easier, go ahead and use minced garlic. Look at that honker. So we'll set those off to the side. So my tofu is pressed. Don't really need to do that step, but if you want to get the tofu really crispy, highly recommend doing that. That was about 20 minutes in the press. There's so much water that came out of it. Now we're gonna cut this into 1-inch cubes.
Bite-sized cubes?
Bite-sized cubes. And this is 14 ounces of firm tofu. And I wouldn't go any softer than that because there's gonna be too much moisture. You're not gonna be able to fry it out very well. We'll transfer this into a bowl. 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Along with that, I'm gonna add a pinch of salt. The cornstarch is going to act as a crispy outer layer, and it's really gonna help us get the tofu super crispy. I have this pan at medium-high heat, a splash of oil, swish it around, and then we'll add our tofu. Try to get everything in one even layer. And we're just going to cook these until they're golden brown. And you're going to be flipping each tofu cube individually, which might suck a little bit, but it really depends on how crispy you want your tofu. Part of me just wants to try to flip the whole thing.
Yeah.
So some of them will stick together. If they're too close, so just go in and kind of break them up. So these are crispy enough to me. So we're gonna put these onto a plate. Just a little bit more oil here. Next, we'll crush in our garlic. Oh my God, that smells so good. Cook that for like 10 seconds, don't go too long. 8-ounce bag of coleslaw mix.
Yum.
All right, if you're impatient like me, a little salt's gonna help the cabbage wilt down a little faster. This doesn't have to be coleslaw mix, you can just use green cabbage, but I would recommend using at least some sort of cabbage to kind of add a little bit of texture to the dish. We are super lazy today, so we're gonna be using coleslaw mix. All right, this is a good spot, I think. Next, we'll add in our nudes. Just give everything a quick mix. Now, here comes the magical part. Let's add in our peanut sauce. Oh yeah. What is this? I have 4 hands? And just give everything a nice old mixy mix. Oh yeah. Now we'll add the tofu back in. We're good to go. Now we're gonna plate this. A little garnish of some peanuts. Everyone's favorite, a little bit of sesame seed. All right, let's get to it. This smells so good.
I'm so excited.
You ready for this?
Yes.
Okay, obviously, first plate's gonna be tofu. Oh yeah. Cheers. Oh dear God. Oh, I knew it was gonna be good, but I didn't know it was gonna be. Oh. All right, here's the pro strategy here. Stab tofu, and then get some nudes.
Yes. Oh, this is so good.
Wow.
You nailed this.
It's not just peanut butter. Obviously, the peanut butter is the main star of the show, but you have soy sauce, sour from the vinegar, you got some savoriness from the sesame oil, and it all just plays together so well. And like, oh my God, I'm in heaven.
It's really good. A little bit like sweet, but it's so savory. I just keep saying it's really good over and over.
Oh my God.
And you just keep saying, oh my God.
I love the cabbage in it.
I do too.
I could see myself putting mushrooms in this. Could see myself putting a bit more cabbage actually.
Yeah.
Green onion would be really good too. I think there's some freshness missing there. So you were right on that one.
Is this something like you grew up eating? I feel like I didn't try this until like a few years ago.
No, this is not something I grew up eating, but like Asian peanut sauce goes, not new to me. I haven't had too many times in noodles, but I think everyone should try it. I'm just gonna add a little sriracha guy here.
Because it does already have that hint of spice from the gochugaru, which is good. But I feel like it could be a little bit more.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Like, would you have added more gochugaru?
You could add another tablespoon or teaspoon of gochugaru. Depends on what you're going for. What do you think of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like that? If I had to do it again, I'd do 2 things. I would add a little bit more water to the sauce. This is slightly too thick, but flavor-wise perfect. And I would add just a little bit of green onion towards the end of cooking. Other than that, like, was there any possibility this could have tasted bad?
No.
Yeah, exactly. This was so easy to make. The thing that took the longest was the tofu. And like the flavor you get from it for how easy it is, like I'm still trying to wrap my head around like how it's so good.
Please try to make this at home. Let us know what you think, if you like it as much as we do. Obviously, we really enjoyed it.
If you couldn't tell. There are very few recipes on this channel that make me react the way I just did, so this is top 5 in the Panda's Kitchen. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you'd like to see next. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.